What's going on, guys? So we got little Simon who's joining us. He's probably going to go and explore a little bit. There he goes. All right, what's going on, guys? Simon is probably going to come. What are you doing, little boy? Simon's been really having fun exploring the outside under some supervision. So he's outside with me right now, enjoying a little fresh air. And I figured I would talk about a job situation because that I think is most helpful for people, in my opinion. How and why you choose a certain drone for, say, a specific purpose. I got a call today to shoot a quick job, just real estate stuff, nothing major, a couple $100 to shoot. Here, wait, nothing major, just a couple $100 to go shoot a lot. I got another job, for example, in a couple days where I'll probably charge $500 to get some shots of a facility and then in turn sell them a print, which I'll hopefully make some money on as well. But when I'm going to shoot a job, usually, especially for photos and video, the Autel Evo 2 Pro has been a really solid drone. This is the Enterprise, which has carbon arms, a little bit stronger motors supposedly, and the ability to have modules on this little guy, which I never use. With that being said, my standard I crashed, so that's no longer with me. I only have the Enterprise left in my rotation. And it was pretty windy today. I think probably 10 to 15 mile an hour winds with 33 to maybe 35 mile an hour gusts. And this guy, the Autel Enterprise 6K, was having a really hard time in the winds. If you have this thing set to standard mode, and you're at 11 miles an hour, you have the ability to choose 11 miles an hour or 22 miles an hour in the settings. 11 miles an hour with the 33, 35 mile an hour gusts was basically not even moving. Literally, it wasn't moving in the air. So I went and adjusted it to 22 miles an hour, and it did a little bit better. And then finally I said, F it, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it in ludicrous mode. I wasn't going to get nice cinematic footage. I was just going to get some still shots, so it didn't really matter. I just wanted to break through the winds. So I went to ludicrous mode and set it to 45 miles an hour, which is the fastest this Enterprise goes. And it still didn't do extremely well. In my opinion, it doesn't do great in high winds. I almost lost my standard Evo 2 Pro in the city on a shoot. And that was the closest I came to losing a drone and having it fly away. So kind of had a few experiences with the Evo 2 Pro 6Ks, whether it's Enterprise or standard. The Enterprise doesn't seem to be that much better, but it does seem to do a little bit better, but not a great high wind drone for whatever that's worth. I think the Mavic 3 probably would do better, maybe the Air 2S even, and the DJI drones. So there is that pro and con with every manufacturer. This obviously, maybe not obviously, but the Autels do not have geofencing. And I don't know. I mean, this Evo 2 Pro 6K Enterprise definitely still takes amazing photos. So for me, if photos are on the agenda, essentially this is my go-to drone because I think it takes the best pictures out there out of any drone. But again, a real life scenario today, quick little job, the winds were high. Maybe if the winds were really high and I had another drone like a Mavic 3, I would opt for the Mavic 3 and bring this just in case if there was geofencing in place, for example, and I couldn't physically launch my Mavic 3. But this guy definitely didn't feel amazing today and was really sluggish in the wind and just doesn't fly as well as DJI drones. And that's kind of one of the cons with this Autel drone, at least, this Evo 2 Pro 6K model. For whatever reason, whenever I want to hand catch this drone and land it, it never stops the props. And I can try, no matter what I do, lay out my hand to cover all the sensors. It just doesn't seem to want to stop spinning. And just makes it kind of unnerving, and that's one of the downsides that I've experienced with this drone. That's one of the downsides I've experienced with this drone, is being able to not hand catch it as easily as the standard version. I'm not sure why or what's causing that. It should, in theory, be pretty much the identical drone, but My Evo 2 Pro 6K standard, I could hand catch with ease, consistently. And this thing, a lot of times it will just keep spinning, and then I gotta go ahead and relaunch it, and it just super sketchy and doesn't feel good. I had some guy stop in his car right as I was landing this thing in my hand or attempting to, and the props were still going, and he started talking about how cool the drone is, and I basically said, can't talk right now, sorry, and had to relaunch it, and the drone just kind of took off again. But it's really nerve-wracking because you don't know if the props are gonna stop or do something that it shouldn't. So Evo 2 Pro 6K Enterprise, I wouldn't even try to hand catch this thing. I would just land it on the ground and be done with it. But just wanted to talk a little bit about a real life day. Had a couple little jobs today, windy out, and it just didn't do that well in the wind. It's a great camera drone and a great drone to get great footage, but it does not fly extremely well, and it flies even worse in high wind scenarios. So just be mindful of that. And I know the Mavic 3 just came out with the new firmware update, which allows you to basically shoot raw and manual settings with the 7x zoom. So there's some cool little features that finally are out with the Mavic 3. But with that being said, I probably still will not buy one, but it's nice to know that it's kind of finally evolving only 6 months later. So with that being said, that's it, guys. Just a short little talk about the Evo 2 Pro and Autel. And it's really unfortunate because ever since I upgraded the firmware to the latest firmware for this Evo 2 Pro 6K Enterprise with the standard controller, as you see here, not the smart controller. The smart controller requires different firmware. I have not had great success with certain things. For some reason, it disconnects a lot from the actual phone, which really stinks. The disconnect thing with the drone, as many of you may know, and if you don't know, that's a good thing, but it probably is the worst feeling out there because you lose total connectivity to your display and your phone, your device, and it just doesn't give you peace of mind at all. It really interrupts the whole entire flying process. And that's been a pretty annoying thing. There's been some little bugs like the histogram not displaying in video mode. And Autel has been pretty much non-existent in regards to support. I've had a couple different issues that I needed to contact them. I tried to call multiple times. I tried to email. I've never heard anything back. It's been weeks. So Autel kind of is dropping the ball with their customer service, and that's really unfortunate. And it does kind of leave you with that taste in your mouth, like maybe I don't even have the option to buy another Autel, because if there's no support, guess what? That really sucks. So maybe DJI is gonna just kind of take over completely, 109,000%, with Autel dropping the ball on the 1 yard line in regards to their customer support or lack thereof. So that's it for now. If you guys want, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe. I'm gonna try to put more videos out soon. I've been feeling pretty crappy, as many know, with my anxiety. I'm trying to get on top of it. I started a new medication and it seems to be doing relatively well. I gotta get a medical procedure done next week, a colonoscopy, because I am 49 and I am not wanting to take any chances. So I'm staying on top of my health, physical and mental. So wish me luck, send me some good thoughts with that. I'm not looking forward to that procedure, but as I mentioned before, I had a friend who had the same kind of colonoscopy and had stage 3 colon cancer and really went through hell. So send some love his way and also send some good thoughts my way. And with that being said, that's it, guys. Happy flying. Peace. Bye.